Hey everybody, it's Kim Shivler. Welcome to part 2 of MyHours. This is one of my favorite software applications for tracking your time. I particularly love that it has a free version that really allows me to do most of what I want. If you need to upgrade, you want to do more, there's a wonderful upgraded version for $6 a month. I will put the pricing information in the blog post because, hey, that stuff changes sometimes. Now, they have made some changes over the last year, and frankly, some of the things I liked the way they did them before. But overall, it's a very easy to use and powerful product to help you track your time. I like to track it both when I'm doing client work. If you're a virtual assistant or a virtual service provider, as many of you know, I was a web developer and did other services, instructional design, etc. And I also like to use it when I'm just doing tasks for myself to kind of just track how long is it taking me? Am I working efficiently? That type of thing. But today we're going to actually focus on how to create this to track work for clients. Okay. So we can configure clients here under clients, and we can configure projects. So for example, I do have my virtual assistants create blog posts for me, and I have that assigned to a single client. In the past, you could just have a client, pick a client, and track. It's not working quite that way these days. What I would want to do is say I have client, add a new client, and it's client big store. I pretend we're a big box store. Put in the contact person's name, contact at big store, and their other information, etc. Put that in there. So now I have my client. I would then create a project for them. So if you're just doing generic admin work, I would add a new project and put admin work for the big store client. You can put your description information in, etc. Now, when it comes to billing and all of that, you will start getting into information where you would have to have a pro account. For example, to take all this information and invoice it. You should be able to put, you notice I am on a free plan. And you can see here they're showing where it's limited for the pro plan, but I could have this as just a basic project billable rate or not billable. What I do, I make it not billable because I create my billable information outside of this. I really use this specifically for time tracking. As we move on in the program, we are going to look at all kinds of features, including tracking time in QuickBooks that goes right to invoicing that comes right into your bank account. But for right now, we're looking at just getting started as a virtual assistant, bootstrapping from the ground up without signing up for any other fees if we don't have to. And this is what we're going to use is MyHours. So I'm going to create this project. Now I'm not adding any team members to the project. I am my own virtual assistant. And in this case, this is what I'm going to be working on. So I click on all set and done. Again, you can see where things are available in Pro and we're not using Pro. So once I've added that, I've got a project, I've got my clients assigned to it, I can just come over here to my time log, just click on track. I tend to set everything else up ahead of time, projects, clients, so that when I log in the morning, all I do is I know I'm going to work on this either general admin or blog post posting or social media, whatever I set up. And I'm going to come right here and track this. And I'm going to click on add time log, or in this case, the time log was already open. This seems to depend on where you are in the software. If you click on track and this is already open, you're good to go. If you're not seeing this box, then you can just click here on add time log. I can now click on this, and I'm going to do under big store, which was my client admin work. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I don't have a specific task. I can enter it if I'm going to have a specific task list, or a lot of times when it's general work, I just want to start this and start my time. So I click on start timer. You can see it is now timing this. And once we stop it and everything, it's going to give me my duration, time, start time, end time, the date, etc. So at that point, I would go over to other things and do my work, whether it's creating a email, a newsletter, doing some social media posting, etc. I would go spend my time doing all of that. And then it's really key to remember, if you need to get up to use the restroom, if you need to answer the phone, if you have to run to the door for a delivery guy, you always want to stop that timer, because you shouldn't be billing your customers for time when you're not actually working. So here I am. I have my everything going on here. And I clicked on this. I can see it. This is my big store. That's the name of my client. We're just doing admin work. I can type in a description of what I'm doing or what I have done. And once I'm done doing the work, and as I said, we can have specific tasks we're working on. With admin work, I don't tend to do that. But sometimes, say you have a big project and your work might include internet research or posting something or reaching out on phone calls, you might want to create those as specific tasks. The idea here is to make it as flexible and functional as possible. You can also add tags to help you search for it when you're searching through what you've done. At this case, I have just set it all up. We got started. I'm now going to stop it. And now what you can see down here is this was my big store, my client, my admin work for them. We just did the 2 minutes. It shows what I did from 4:30 to 4:32. I can click on that and then add more in the description. What I normally do if I'm doing something time-based like this is I'll do exactly what I just showed you. I set up an overall account, and maybe it was web development, maybe it was instructional design, etc. And then here I will come in and I will enter specific work like sent MailChimp email, right? That would be something I would add so that I then have more detail to what's going on. I can now look at this and I see how much time I spent. Again, I am not using the pro version where I'm able to invoice right from here. I'm taking this amount, I'm taking this information, I'm sending it in a separate report to the customer. That might be created in a Google Doc, might be created in a bookkeeping program, might be created in something they want. Sometimes customers have their own forms that they ask us to fill out. But what this does is it lets me look at What time am I spending where? How can I track it? And then how can I bill it efficiently to the customer? As a freemium product, meaning it has free and paid for programs or options, I should say, this is one of the most powerful ones I've found on the market to use to help you track your time and then use it to help invoice your customers. Again, this is just scratching the surface. If you really want to dig in, there's a lot more options around MyHours, and they have complete training to help you get going with all kinds of other details like projects. And if you're building out a whole team and having team members be responsible to things, that's not how we tend to work as virtual assistants. So I don't cover that here, but it's there if you choose to use it. I'm Kim Shivler. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.